Good morning everyone. I am Pradeep Kamble, currently pursuing my diploma in civil engineering from Gramin Technical and Management Campus, Vishnupuri, Nandi. And today I am here to speak on a topic that connects deeply with every students, every parents and every taxpayers in our country. Government scholarship schemes and its implementation. When we hear the word scholarship, it brings a sense of hope, a hope that hard work will be rewarded and that education will never stop because of money. But when we look closer, there are cracks in the system, cracks that leave many deserving students behind. The inequality in the scholarship distribution. Let's start with a simple but serious issue. Students from SC, ST, and minority categories receive scholarships even when they take admissions through management quota. But students from OBC, VJNT, or open categories don't receive scholarships under the same condition. Now just think about it. Two students sitting in the same classroom paying the same fees, but one gets government support while the other doesn't, just because of which category or quota they came through. Is that real equality? Isn't scholarship supposed to be based on need and merit, not quota? Some students take management seats not because they are rich, but because cap seats were already full. Should they really be punished for that? Now, when I started digging deep into this issue, I didn't just want to speak from my own opinion. So I read articles, visited forums, and even talked to some students, teachers, and people online throughout different discussion boards and websites. And when I asked why does this difference exist in scholarship eligibility, most of the answers I got were quite similar. Some people said maybe because management quota seats are costlier, others said perhaps the government can't afford to give scholarships to everyone, and of course, a few people were frustrated and directly blamed the government. Now, these are not official statements, these are just common explanations people have shared, and I completely understand where they came from. Yes, management seats are more expensive, and yes, the government's budget is limited. But here's where my concern begins. If scholarships were created to solve the problem of financial inequality, then why are they struggling with financial limitations themselves? If money is the issue, shouldn't the government be improving its efficiency, not reducing corruption instead of limiting help of students? Because think about it, a scholarship is not a burden on the budget. It's actually a solution for it. It's a tool that builds skilled citizens who will later contribute more taxes and more value to the country. So cutting back on scholarship is like cutting on the root of the very tree you want to grow. Transparency through the MahaDBT portal. Now, let's talk about the MahaDBT portal, the central hub for most scholarships in Maharashtra. It was built to make the process digital, smooth, and transparent. And yes, it has made a positive impact. But is it fully transparent? Can ordinary citizen go online and see how much scholarship money has been allotted this year, how much has been distributed, and how much is still pending? The answer is not really. My RTI experience. To find out the actual maintenance cost of the MahaDBT portal, I tried to file an RTI application, but the payment gateway didn't work. There were glitches on the websites, and even if I had managed to file it, the RTI takes at least 30 days to respond, while I just had 20 days before the speech, so I couldn't get the information. But that made me realize something deeper. Why is it so hard for a citizen to know where his own tax money is going? We pay taxes every single year on food, fuel, education, almost everything. And yet, to know how that money is being used, we have to pay again to file a RTI. Just 10 rupees, but still. And even then, we might not get an answer on time. Isn't that unfair? Building a transparent scholarship system. That's why we need a strengthen MahaDBT portal and make it truly transparent step by step. Here's how. First, show the total scholarship budget of the year and how much has already been distributed clearly. Allow people to select any state and see exactly how much money has allotted there. Third is show which minister or department is handling that fund along with their progress updates. Fourth, break it down district wise and college wise, how much money each college received and how many students benefited. Fifth, keep students' personal details private but allow colleges to verify if the right student got the right amount to stop the fake beneficiaries and duplicate entries. Sixth, make a real-time dashboard that tracks how the fund moves from government accounts to the department and finally to students. Include all of this under the RTI framework so that no one needs to file request manually anymore. With such transparency, corruption and scams can be easily exposed and every single rupee can be accounted for. Empowering citizens and fighting with dishonesty will be our next point, where scams will always exist somewhere. But imagine if every citizen could see this data, then every citizen become a watchdog and it is for honesty. I am not saying our officials aren't doing their job, they are, but true democracy means sharing responsibility. When citizens have access to real data, they can question, verify and ensure that no one misuses taxpayers' money. Tax money isn't someone's personal property, not mine, not yours and not even the government's. It belongs to the people of India, and so its use must be transparent. As for ministers and officials, there are public servants. Their work, their budgets and their discussions should be open to public view. The only private data must be that of the students for their own safety and dignity. But apart from that, everything about scholarship should be in the public domain. The bigger picture. Let's not forget why scholarship exists in the first place: to remove financial barriers and make education accessible to everyone. But when corruption, inequality and lack of transparency creep in, that noble purpose gets lost. If we truly want to empower our youth, we must empower the system that supports them, and that starts with honesty, transparency and accountability. Now at last, scholarships are not just about money, they are about dreams. Dreams of a student who wants to study but can't afford the fees. Dreams of a family that want their child to have a better future. These dreams deserve a system that's fair, efficient and open. Let's build a system where every student, irrespective of category or quota, feels supported. Let's not build a government that doesn't just talk about transparency but actually shows it throughout portals like MahaDBT. And let us remind, when education becomes transparent, the future becomes stronger, because the real strength of a nation lies not in its wealth or power but in the education empowered minds of its young citizens. Thank you.